Western Maryland, and in Frederick, Washington, Allegheny, and Garrett counties specifically. So that said, I want to talk to you about what we've done over the last 6 months. In 6 months' time, we've got organized. 3 days after the election of Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders put out the call, and everyone in this, I was going to say room, everyone in this pavilion answered the call, which is just dynamite.
You're not.
We've fought for Keith Ellison to be the chair of the Democratic National Committee. We've sent folks to the People's Summit right now. We have a number of our membership going. We've started up other organizations. We've partnered with other organizations like Frederick Cares, Frederick County Progressives, okay? We've had a number of our members seek office already, getting onto the Democratic Central Committee in Frederick County. Already, okay? We had the subcommittee take care and look out for Planned Parenthood, specifically with the office that is in the city of Frederick. The only Planned Parenthood office of its kind in Western Maryland that provides access to women. Okay? What we've also done is we've stood up to fracking, and we made sure that Annapolis heard our voice as far as banning fracking. And if the Maryland General Assembly didn't hear us, Governor Hogan sure did. And we didn't even have to ban it in Frederick or Washington. They took care of it for us across the whole state. And that's the direct action of Food and Water Watch. That's the League of Conservation Voters, the Sierra Club, Our Revolution, and a number of other organizations that have worked very, very hard over years of time. We kind of came in late to the game, but we're happy to lend our support there. Okay. We've also had a great turnout as far as raising awareness and bringing attention to the important matter of climate change. And I also want to thank not only the Planned Parenthood subcommittee, but the folks who stood up for climate justice and environmental justice in Hagerstown at a very, very well-publicized and hugely attended climate march that we had just a few months ago. Now, since that time, and since we met last month at the Arts Library here in the city of Frederick, I've got some good news for you, okay? Ben Jealous has announced that he's running for governor, okay? This is a big deal. That's a really big deal, okay? Which is very exciting. And don't forget, Ben also came and supported us and the United Democrats of Washington County at the Climate March also. Since that time, we've also had a number of good things and victories for our revolution across the country, whether it's in Jackson, Mississippi with a new mayor, whether it's in Philadelphia with a new district attorney, or other down-ballot races that are going on across the country right now, okay? Here's what happens when progressive Democrats run for office. Not only do they win, but they flip red districts to blue districts, okay? We flip seats. Let's be very clear about that. We flip seats, okay? So I want to introduce, we have 3 awesome speakers that want to talk to you, they want to meet you, they want to shake your hand, and you're going to love these folks. So I want to introduce Andrew Duck first. Andrew, come on up. Andrew is just one of the most solid earth people you guys could ever meet. Andrew is running officially, as of this week, for John Delaney's seat in Congressional District 6. And I'll let Andrew take it from here. Andrew?
Thank you very much. First of all, it's great to see so many people out here. I was very chagrined when I saw the results of the presidential election and very disappointed. I've been doing grassroots organizing out here in Western Maryland for over a decade, and we had been making such progress. And then to see the result that we got this election was very disappointing. It took me a couple days to get out of shock, but the next weekend I started an organization. I started with a Love Trump's Hate rally in Baker Park the Sunday after the election, because I felt as though we needed to get out and talk to each other, reassure each other, and start planning for actions going forward. That led to an organization known as Frederick Cares. Frederick Cares has
Did you get some food?
First thing that we did is we helped send buses down to the Women's March. We had a number of other events, a volunteer fair for people to get active in the community to help on the local level. We organized a panel for how to talk to your conservative neighbors, because the worst thing we can do when things are so divided is allow them to lock in this divisiveness. And one of the other things that I did is the first conference call we had to organize our Revolution Western Maryland, I was on that conference call because I know how important this organization is. And this organization reaches all across Western Maryland. So at the same time as Adam and a lot of the members here were having the climate march in Hagerstown, there was another climate march I was at out in Cumberland, where they were doing the exact same thing. And if you look, this weekend we were out at the Garrett County JJ dinner. I've been going to the Garrett County JJ dinner for more than 10 years, and they had more people, they had over 100 people there, they had to bring in an extra table. And if you know Garrett County is probably the most Republican county in the state. They've got extra people showing up for their events out in Garrett County because people want a change. I appreciate the fact that everybody's here. The things that we need to do, we need to organize, we need to resist, and we need to persist. And we have organized. We are going to continue to resist. And so I'm looking forward over the next 2 years as we do voter registration drives, as we go out and canvass. There's a lot of new growth going on out here. We need to get to those new voters first. And so over this summer, we're going to be doing voter registration drives, going into those neighborhoods, making sure that we get these people to be as active in their community as they join it, as we are, who have been here for a little while longer, and have been working at this a little while longer. And the biggest thing that we need to do is we need to get new people elected to office. That's the reason that I put my name on the ballot to run for U.S. Congress. I would appreciate any support that you can give me. I'd be happy to talk to you about my background, whether it be my background defending democracy around the world as a member of the United States Armed Forces. Served in Bosnia 3 times, served 1 tour in Iraq. After the 1 tour in Iraq was enough to make me submit my retirement. Whether you want to talk to me about green energy, I spent the last 4 years serving as Director of Operations at the Green Energy Research Company. I'll be happy to talk to any of you later on. But today, what we really need to do is have some fun, enjoy the weather, and start making plans for that grassroots organizing that we need to do all across Western Maryland, Frederick County, Washington County, Allegheny County, and Garrett. And we're going to need your help in order to do that. And so I appreciate everybody for coming out. I appreciate you for giving me a minute to speak. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of the picnic.
The people that were in disbelief of Jeremy Corbyn's upset victory in the United Kingdom, the people that were surprised by that were the same people that were surprised by Occupy Wall Street. They were the same people that were surprised by the Tea Party. And they were the same people that were surprised by the post-banking crisis reaction of young people and progressives across the country. And what we know is what they don't, which is that progressive politics work. That shouldn't be a surprise. And the next person I want to introduce you to is Roger Manno. Roger, come on up. Roger is a state senator from Montgomery County. And hey, the word on the street, Roger, is you're interested in running for CD6 too. So I want to introduce you all to Roger. You're going to see a lot of him around Frederick County very soon. Let's give Roger a hand.
Thank you guys. I'll be clapping for you. Thanks so much for all of you being out here today on this brisk June afternoon. First of all, thanks to Our Revolution. Thanks to Bernie. Thanks to Ben for helping to organize this great movement in this country that we need so bad. I was very proud to work with Ben Jealous to end the barbaric practice of capital punishment in the state of Maryland, along with Jamie Raskin and Brian Frosch and many great legislators in the Senate and in the House. We actually got that done in Maryland. We passed, we're the first state in the nation to pass marriage equality on the ballot without the Supreme Court telling us to do that. How cool is that? We passed the DREAM Act because we know that our brothers and sisters who came here from other countries, who are paying their taxes, who are registered for selective service, deserve to be treated fairly in the education system the way everyone else who's a neighbor in our community can. And it's really the progressive activism of this movement, of all of you, of great legislators, and folks like Ben Jealous, who were able to get that done in the state of Maryland. Before I had this job, so I served about 7 years in the state Senate representing Silver Spring up to Gaithersburg, and then before that I served 4 years in the House of Delegates. But I worked for great members of Congress before I was elected, and let me tell you how sort of that happened. I was born in California in 1966. My dad was a carpenter, had a 4th grade education. My mom was a student, and we didn't have health care. We moved to New York City in 1971. I think I was 5. And my dad walked into an emergency room on Christmas Eve, clenching his chest with no health care, and was sent home. And he died alone on a cold floor in a walk-up apartment on the west side of Manhattan. A barbaric tragedy of an economic system that treats people who are poor or working people unfairly because of how much money they have, because we have insurance companies that somehow got into the healthcare business. We need to get them back in the property and casualty business where they belong, yes. Right? Like most civilized countries in the world, I spent many years trying to figure out how that happened to us, how that injustice happened to us, because it sent my mother and I into an economic death spiral. I lived on the street. I was in a group home. We had a very, very tough time. And when things started to click to me in my head as to how that happened to us, it became really clear that it was a failure of an economic system and a healthcare system in this country. And that was really the root of so many economic injustices that I saw growing up in New York. I went to community college several times, then I went to City University, Hunter College, and had an opportunity to intern for my state senator, a great Democrat from Manhattan, Catherine Abate. And then I was a White House intern. And then got a chance to stay there or make the decision to go to law school. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to change the laws in this country with regard to healthcare, with regard to economic disparities, because I felt and know what you all know, that the greatest injustice is having the economic rug pulled out from under you. And it's happening all over the place in this country right now. It's happening here in Frederick, it's happening in Aspen Hill, it's happening out in Friendsville, it's happening all over this country and all over the state of Maryland, and it needs to end. I had the opportunity to work for a great congressman from New York, my last year of high school, Jerry Nadler, on the Judiciary Committee. Just an amazing, amazing progressive champion in Congress. And then for a great, fearless Congresswoman from Houston, Texas, Sheila Jackson Lee, as her counsel. And on 9/11, I was her senior counsel. And on 9/12, sat in a townhouse on South Capitol Street with a handful of young lawyers, the members of Congress, because all the roads were shut down, the airports were shut down, the metro was shut down, and those people who were stuck in DC, the members of Congress, we started working on what we knew would be the Democratic response to what we knew would be the Patriot Act, right? And stopped internment camps from popping up all over this country like they did many, many years ago in America, and had the opportunity several years later to work as a legislative director for a congressman from Georgia in a district that looks like this, that looks like western Maryland and northern Montgomery County in rural Maryland. And from there, worked with great members of Congress, including Congressman John Conyers. My best friend on the Hill, is a guy named Joel Siegel, who wrote an audacious bill for a great member from Detroit, HR 676, the universal health care, the single-payer bill. And I had the opportunity to walk that bill around and get co-sponsors in 2002 or 2003. And we're still fighting that fight. So from there, I went to the House of Delegates and the State Senate and got a chance to work with great members, Brian Frosch and Jamie Raskin. And I am a full-time state senator. I do this with every fiber of my being because I know that it needs to be done. And because many of the same atrocities that happened, that I saw happening in New York and California, are still going on. And until we fix that economic disparity, that economic injustice, that's the work of my life. And so I'm so proud to stand here with all of you, folks in our revolution, and just people of good faith and great ideas and great energy in the state of Maryland, around this country, to try to fix this broken system. So that's my pitch to you. Please, thank you for letting me stand with you and work with you, and I look forward to what we're going to do together. Appreciate it.
All right, Roger. Hey, bud, come on up. So, I don't know. I got a soft spot for this guy. I've got a complete bias for this guy, and this is me. I can't wait to vote for this guy. Folks, I want to talk to you guys about Bud. I'm going to get choked up. Bud and I, we've been a real team now. We've been a team for going on 3 years. And Bud, I'm losing it. So, Bud was elected to be an at-large candidate, or an at-large official for the county council in Frederick County. And he was not only the top vote getter, but Bud Otis has been elected the first president of the county council in Frederick County history. And he did such a good job, they elected him president again, okay? And over the course of 2.5, 3 years, Bud's vote has been the vote on the county council. When he was a Republican, that for the first time since 2008, gave adequate funding to our public schools.
Yeah.
2008. Bud's vote is the one that helped us do away with the English-only ordinance
Yeah.
in county government.
Yeah.
And there are so many other things that he has done for us that he honestly has taken a lot of heat from because of the reactionary nature of the Republican Party here in Frederick. So he left.
Yes.
Okay? And as an unaffiliated person on the county council and as the county council president, Bud has pushed for strict ethics reform so that elected officials in Frederick County don't get to push their business in front of yours. Okay? He has pushed for responsible, respectful, and ethical land development. And at the same time, he stood up after the Pulse nightclub shooting, okay, for the victims of the Orlando shooting last year. He stood with our Muslim friends and our Muslim neighbors. He stood up for women and helping out Emerge Maryland. And he stood up for everyone because as an elected person who came into office as a Republican, Bud has the wherewithal and the understanding, and Bud has the ethics to know that he represents everybody in the county as an at-large council, okay? So I want you guys to give a big hand to Bud Otis.
It's an honor to be with you. You know, the sad thing for me, growing up in America, I love my country. I love our political systems. I appreciated so much through the years how it's all worked. But it's gotten captured by fringe groups. And it's really appalling. You know, I spent 4 years working in Russia, building the first and only publishing house that publishes religious literature to this day. So I understand that side of things. But in our county, when I decided to run, and the county council was voted by you as voters in the county, which incidentally is a great thing that you did, because it diversified the power. My goal was to see that we could give fair representation to all of you. It was captured by 4 people. One person would call the shots and all 4 would go for whatever they wanted. You saw it. And I stood afar and I watched that. And I said, do I get involved or do I sit it out? And I decided that I had lived myself and I had to get into it. So I decided to run. I ran, was on the Republican ticket, and I ran as really very independent because I didn't allow my sign to be put on Blaine or any of these other candidates. I did not want that. I wanted to stand on my own 2 feet, and the voters knew that by the placement of my sign. Sometimes people think the voters aren't very smart. Believe me, they're very smart. And I appreciate it very much. Now, when we got into the council, I really wanted it to be something we could really be proud of. That, you know, we're a legislative body, that we can do things in a nice, organized fashion. But, you know, a member wanted to be the president of the council. I didn't want to be president of the council. I was nominated by others and voted. That individual has never gotten over it. And so they continue to try to undermine me and the council and do anything they can to undermine what Jan Gardner's doing as far as running the county. You see, to me, the day after election, the R's and D's don't matter. You want good government, okay? I discovered the educational system was $60 million behind in what they should have been, and our teachers are the lowest paid starting pay in the state. Okay? If your kids go off to get a teacher your age and they want to come back to teach in Frederick County, why would they get back? They go to Washington County. They make more money than we were paying. That's wrong. When new companies come here and they ask us about Frederick County, one of the first 3 things they ask is about the educational system. Okay? We have to have a good educational system if you want good quality jobs. AstraZeneca asked that question before they came here. And, you know, they said, you got a great location, but we need to have another entrance put in. And, you know, and Montgomery County is offering a 10-year tax deal. Loudoun County was. I said, why are we? So we gave them a tax break, and they chose Frederick. And they said, we will take your high school kids and we will train them. And they're doing that. Instead of 200 or 300, there are going to be 400 or 500 people working for AstraZeneca in this county because we took them in and we did it right. And so, you know, I was the 4th vote. Okay? It's really sad because time and time and time again. See, I vote last as president, and it's 3-3, 3-3, and that's great to have. And I have to look myself in the mirror the next day, okay? Because I'm going to do what I think is best for you, not me. I'm immaterial. I'm there to do a job. I'm not running for the next election. I'm running for this one. I want to earn the right. You want me to run again by the way I try to conduct business for you now. So, you know, they're tough decisions. I have a passion for poor people. You say, well, why do you have a passion for poor people? When I grew up, my aunt got tuberculosis, and 2 little girls came to live with us. Family of 4, 6 kids. My dad was a farmer. He worked hard to take care of us. You know, we didn't have the latest lunchbox, we didn't have the latest shoes, but we were happy that we were together. But I got a real lesson in watching my parents go through that. And we need to take care of the most vulnerable in our community. Yesterday, I went over to the shelter, Ellen Litton Shelter. They refurbished the whole thing, and I took a picture. There's 80 people every night stayed there. 60 men, 20 women. The night before I had gotten there, an 83-year-old grandmother was sleeping on the floor in a dining area. I'm so happy we have that. I'm happy we have people that are concerned for those less fortunate. But I'm going to give you another statistic that really tears my heart. Last year, we had 800 students that were homeless in our school system. This year, we have 840. And what these kids do, we call it couch surfing. They go and they'll stay with you for 2 or 3 weeks, and you know they kind of get gently told maybe to move on, and they'll go spend it, and they go right down the line. We got to do better with our kids. I tell you, it just breaks my heart. That's why I'm trying to get them the best teachers, you know, so they get the best education. If you want to stop crime, educate people. Okay? Educated people don't do it. We've got to give these kids an opportunity. And we've got to do whatever we can to make sure they get an education. And they're getting it.
And give them housing.
Yes. SHIP is a new organization that started 2 years ago. It's making a big difference. And any of you can be involved in helping these type of things. So I'm involved. Andrew, I love hearing about Congress. And I spent some time down there.
Yeah.
And I knew when I got into this race that I was going to be dealing with local issues. And it's been fun because we can make a difference. But I want to tell you something. Your grassroots organization is what this county, and this state, and this nation needs. More people need to get involved. I grew up a Republican. I loved Ronald Reagan. But when Trump came on the scene, I said, I don't recognize this. That's not my party. We don't talk to people like that. We don't do this kind of thing. And then you know, we had the election. We can do better. And, you know, it starts with you getting involved. When we have hearings on issues in the county on an issue, and you have an interest, get there. Because I will make sure you get a chance to express yourself. And believe me, I listen. I look you right in the eyes as you're talking to me. I want to hear every word you're saying, because I can be persuaded. Okay? Not everybody in the council can be persuaded. They're really. You make a good argument, you know, and I'll say, time out. Let's pull that bill and let's come back and redo that. And I've done that on several times. Because after I heard from the public, I said, this isn't right. We're not going the right direction. And I included what the public told me. And we got a better bill out of it. So, you know, this is the local. So be involved with us. I love so much that you come out here on a hot Sunday afternoon and get together. And believe me, you got my support. Anything I can do to encourage you, help you, I want to do it. Because I love Frederick County. It is one of the best counties in the state. We have great people here, tremendous people, and they have big hearts, and they like to help, and they like to be involved, and like to do things. So, I'm your guy. I ran at large, so I represent all of you. You don't have to talk to some district person, you can talk to me. And my executive assistant, Diana Mogalski, is very good at following through and getting us face to face. So, I salute you. God bless you, man. And please change America back to the way we can be civil to each other. You know?